Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Nathan at Sojourn into Exile, and wanted to add my latest episode of Sunday Night Notes. Today I got to preach to wrap up our series Label Maker, preaching on anxious to peaceful, and it was a great Sunday. Part of it was we had a lot of people last week at our healing service praying for anxiety, and so we had the opportunity to pray for them that God would set them free. And so this week we decided to go a little bit deeper into it. And just a couple things that I've learned. One is the way we began, or at least the way I began the message, was I had a couple stories about last week. Like, hey, here's what God did last week. We're so excited. And just shared some stories of healing. And one of the things I think that's so powerful about stories is one, it makes concepts concrete. Rather than simply saying, here's the theology of healing and here's what we believe about it, but actually having stories of people who've experienced, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual healing, is really powerful. And also, I think when people realize, oh my gosh, like my pastor's using real stories about us in our church, I think it's powerful. Now, obviously, you want to be careful. You don't want to use super specific stories. I know I'm on a rocking chair, so I'm rocking back and forth. You don't want to use super specific stories, but you also want to make it seem as if these are real stories of real people, not just, made up ones. And the second thing is, we use a lot of props in our preaching, and there's one part where I really saw how powerful the prop can be when it illustrates something that's going on the inside. And so I share this one story about how whenever I get anxious about finances, and so if I get anxious, I start to withdraw. My wife goes, "What's wrong?" And I say, "Oh, nothing's wrong, sweetie. Everything's great." But on the inside, I'm super anxious, and so while I was saying this actually came to me during the first service. Everything's great, sweetie. I have this sign that says anxious, and I'm holding it over me, and then all of a sudden everyone starts laughing. They're like, "Oh yeah, I get that. I've done that before," where I've said the exact opposite of what I'm feeling because whether I feel shame or, and so there's something powerful about using a prop that can actually describe what's going on the inside and get it on the outside. So I think that's what's been really powerful about using props in our church in terms of visual communication. So a couple thoughts. I'll have the link to the message at the bottom of the screen if you want to take a look at that. I guess the last thing I'd say is, man, I love preaching. I love being able to share God's word and seeing God move in the midst of it. So even if you don't preach, I'm sure you can pick up some ideas on how you can communicate using story and even some visuals that can be impactful. I'll have some links at the bottom, maybe some books on anxiety, and yeah, we'll go from there. But hey, thanks for watching Sunday Night Notes. You can subscribe so that you can get in your inbox a weekly newsletter. Tells you what posts are coming up and what videos, and I'd love to be able to continue the conversation. Take care.